doing it. So, we get Zeke's backstory. It's a nice episode. He just kind of covered the whole backstory of Zeke, right? Just showed his real dad, yeah, his real son that played cast with him, right? Tom there, that actually, yeah, that actually played cast with him. I'm just gonna say it, I said a few guys on reaction, but it really feels like a lot of things could have been different if Grisha, you said, oh, you wanna play catch, son? Yeah, let's play catch. I feel that's like the whole storyline, right? I mean, if Grisha had accepted to play, you know, be a little nicer to his son every now and then, he probably would have betrayed him, and you know, and this side wouldn't turn, and they wouldn't go to the wall, and most stuff maybe wouldn't have happened, right? That being said, though, you would, I guess, the argument would be even if he wouldn't betray his parents, well, Eren would never be born, I suppose, so they would really change the storyline. But so they meet Eren's mom, right? But if you ignore that, the Marleys probably would still eventually send, you know, to like break into the wall and try to get the power, so on, right? That would still probably happen, I suppose, anyway. Unless, of course, that his parents would somehow achieve their rebellion, I suppose. But they still want to go there anyway. So, yeah, it's... but still, though, it really is kind of covering around a topic, right? That if Grisha wasn't such a horrible father, like most of the backstory wouldn't have turned out like it did, right? So it is really like, you know, Grisha, maybe you could have been a little better father, especially when he tried to tell him. And what's that scene? When he, shut up, son! I'm doing what I'm doing, stupid kid. You know, he's like, yeah, you don't talk to me like that, boy. We're doing it, right? So. Yeah, like that's kind of classic a bad parent, right? Where the son is like, actually, I think they figured out your plan, Dad. Maybe you should stop. Right? Like, no. So I don't want to hear your stupid reasons, right? So yeah, it's a little bit. But I think one point is good to put out though. Even that Grisha is a horrible dad, the mom is always she's a horrible mom too, though. Yeah, like they're both bad parents, right? The mom is also like, shut up, son. We are doing the right thing for the people, and we're gonna kill them all, and you know. She's also crazy, right, fanatically. So, yeah, like, she's also a really bad mom to him. And they all used to raise Zeke to be this, like, tool, right, they could use to get the powers and, you know, betray the Marleys and all this stuff, right? So yeah, like, they're both really bad parents. But it is very kind of, how do I say it? It feels almost like very simplistic, right? That this whole idea that playing catch is like, if you use more a better parent and, you know, played catch with like, yeah, if you use more a better dad and played catch with his son, most stuff wouldn't happen, right? And it really reminds me of, as I mentioned earlier, one of my favorite movies, right? Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Volume 2. I won't of course spoil it, but it's like, I want to play catch with my dad. He has the feeling to it. Definitely. If he just played catch with him, nothing ever would have happened. But yeah, so he meets Tom, right? By... I guess Tom observes him being this like weak warrior guy, you know, and talks to him, and they start playing baseball together, and it really is an essential thing, right, for Zeke, the whole baseball thing. We all know, of course, Beast Titan primarily, of course, throws baseball, pitches stuff, yeah. So it really is his power. It's all about throwing a lot of baseball, right? But it's a nice touch to it, because I mean, when the Beast Titan first arrives, it's like, wait, is he using like baseball pitches in like this weird, you know, where people are like behind his walls? He seems to be a baseball player. It's like, how did that happen, right? But of course, baseball is actually is an actual sport. I can't speak. It's an actual sport, right? Of course, that he's played as a kid, right? In, you know, in the safe world, right? So that makes a lot of sense, right? If you go back to the first introduction of Beast Titan or Zeke, and so on. So it makes a lot of sense in that way. But also, of course, how the baseball itself is it's the same baseball, right? And it's very important for him, as we see with Tom's backstory. He had a baseball to his son, right? And then his son got killed by his wife, and, you know, it's the same baseball. And then in the end, this Zeke actually gives the baseball to Eren, right? He's like, hey, bro, take my baseball, right? He's like, hey, need son. And they had it, they kind of bonding there over the hatred for their father and so on. Grisha was a bad parent to him, too. But yeah, Attack on Titan is filled with a lot of bad parents. Like Historia's mom is bad, and yeah, I guess Eren's mom was a good mom, I guess. Yeah, she was a good mom, right? But Grisha is a really bad dad, right? Because even though he kind of, I guess, treated Eren nice generally when he was growing up, right? He was clearly immediately like, oh, here we can let's go and attack the royal family and eat them, boy. Like, take my power and eat me. Yeah, he was clearly doing most of the same behavior, right, and the strategy that he was trying to make Zeke do, that he then forced Eren to do, right. So he really didn't learn much, I feel. Yeah, Grisha didn't like really, how to say it, he didn't become like a better dad, right, after what he did to Zeke. He was like, he did the same thing again, basically. But I suppose that in the finer details, that he was nicer to Eren when Eren was a kid. Because I mean, there isn't many scenes of Eren actually being a kid, right? Or you know what I mean? Like before the walls collapsed, you can hang out. There are a few flashbacks, but I suppose we can guess that Grisha was a better parent to him. It feels to me, at least, that he was slightly nicer to Eren, right? Kind of growing up, right? But the actual plan of using his son as a weapon and so on, that was completely intact, right? So he didn't really change his general opinion, right? Not only Grisha, you know, it's also the mom, you know, yeah, it's also calling her face now, but yeah, it's also the mom also being like, oh, he's useless. Yeah, so it's good that it wasn't just the father, but also the mommy. It also was like, she also, you know, disappointed and hated him for being weak and so on. So it wasn't just his dad that was horrible. It was both parents that were horrible. Yeah, they were both really. He's our weapon, we need to train him and so on, right? And he's our hope for rebellion and stuff like that. Special ending, as I mentioned, the reaction. The very, very interesting ending where they just showed so much, right? And in this ending then, they showed so many scenes that hadn't happened in the manga either, right? And of course when the ending arrived, people were thinking that, oh, is this like the Marleys fighting, or is it supposed to be like the Eldian? We didn't know about the Mars at the time that well, so it was like, is this like the aliens fighting Titans or whatever, or no, humans then, I guess, right? But no, it actually is, of course, the Marleys fighting the Eldian armies back in the days, right, like 1,000 years ago. So it's that ending, of course, is very interesting, and most stuff that ending has been explained by now, right? But it's cool, I think, to see how that ending was like released a few years before it even was in the manga, showing the Marley empires fighting. But it really did show, because it also shows the whole going, you know, creating the walls and so on, right, the wall titans. So if you're on anime only watching that ending, right, the ending was like arguably spoiling half the storyline, right? But anyway, one other thing though I think is interesting here is that obviously leaving Zeke with his grandparents again shows you the neglect, right? The very neglecting father Grisha was, because he should know that his parents, you know, they hate the Eldians, right? They hate the whole Eldian restoration idea, right? So he is teaching his son every day, like, yeah, we're the good guys. The Marleys are evil. We should kill them all, right? You know, let's conquer the world, right? And then he leaves his son to his father, and his father is like, hey, son, or grandkid, yeah, your father is wrong, okay? Everyone, we are evil, they are the good guys, right? So every day Zeke had like a constant, you know, ideology battle, right? Like one set of people are telling him everything is good and everything is bad, right? And he keeps hearing that mixed messages every day, right? So it's no wonder Zeke was like, maybe I should betray them, yeah, like they're crazy, right? So, but it gives some a little dynamic though to that he overheard that they might figure out who his parents were, right? So he kind of betrayed them before they could be discovered, right? Of course, there's an argument to be made that they maybe never will be discovered, right? Maybe I will never actually be discovered. So if Zeke hadn't betrayed them, they might, you know, succeed, right? So it's like, you know, but it's a little different more on the nuance there of why he betrayed them. It wasn't purely that he hated them. It was like, maybe I have to save myself, right? And of course also was Tom that gave him the idea, right, to betray them. So I liked it in the backstory, yeah. We really knew he was going to betray them given the earlier episodes, right? But he kind of give a little more nuance to why he did it. And also, of course, that his parents are horrible parents. That they're so bad, that they're so horrible. So he's like, I hate them, I want to betray them, right? Just generally. But it's a lot of different, I think, interesting details here, how to say it, right? Like he's clearly kind of cray-cray, right? He's growing up, then his parents keep telling him one thing, and his grandparents keep telling all the thing, and then we have Tom telling him like a third thing, kind of, right? Tom is like, maybe we can, like, you know, make their body change, and he has like another third idea, and yeah, you know, so of course the poor kid goes crazy, right? Having all these different inputs, right? On what is the right thing to live and so on. So I really like that in Zeke's backstory, and I do like the detail. It is similar to, as I mentioned, Rainer in the reaction that I mentioned Rainer, how Tom's wife was like, what? I'm married to an Eldian, and our son is half Eldian. He like killed their own kid, right? Because she's like, I can't have a kid that is half Eldian. That's disgusting, right? that's horrible. Similar to, again, Rainer's dad, that is like, because Rainer is half Eldian, half Marley, right? And his mom, you know, he knows who that's right. And Rainer is like, if I became a warrior, maybe my dad would finally love me, right? He tries to, you know, talk to his father, right? That his father still hates him even as a warrior and that stuff, right? So it's kind of similar with the whole, you know, they really, really hate the Eldians, right? They really hate the Eldians. Like, yeah, it's a lot of strong hate for the poor Eldians, right? And the beginning is a good scene too, I think. They kind of throws the water at them, and so on. That being said, though, I do find one thing to be nitpicky, but I think it's true though. There is a little. One thing I don't like in the backstory is that he's so bad. Yeah, I think that's like a little overkill, honestly, on the backstory. That why is I don't know, why is Zeke like so incredibly bad? I have to say that, you know, but I think that is like the only thing I feel in the storyline doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's one thing that Zeke isn't the strongest warrior ever, and he actually becomes a warrior, you know, gets the power because baseball coach is like, yeah, I like him, he's my best student, let him get power. But I do find this thing, I think this would be better if Zeke was weak, right? And he didn't like, you know, he wasn't the best warrior, but he was maybe slightly behind them. Yeah, I found it's a little too much, how say it, hyperbolically horrible him, how he's right. Like, he's like the worst by a mile, apparently, right? Why are all the other kids just so ahead of him, right? And actually, because Zeke has never really shown that he's actually, like, physically, as an adult, right? Doesn't seem to be physically weaker, right? Because he's like, wait, does he have some kind of, you know, chronic illness? Does he have some kind of fatigue, sickness? Like, what is wrong with him, right? You know, but as an adult, as a grown man, that seems to be gone, right? So yeah, so I feel a little bit here. If Zeke was just slightly behind him, right? He was like a little bit behind everyone else. I think that he would still be too weak to get the powers. So his parents would still be like, oh, he's weak, he's useless, you know. That would still happen, right? It would still be the exact same result. But I just find this detail here to be a little bit like, hey, why is he like a kilometer behind everyone else? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why is he so incredibly physically weak, apparently? Especially because he keeps training, right? I mean, if you take any, you know, random young people, right, and you just train them all day long, right, they will all be roughly the same, right? I mean, I'm not saying that there are differences, but like, he's like absurdly weaker than everyone else. So it's a little bit overkill. That is, yeah, it's like, okay, why is he so goddamn weak compared to everyone else? They should have maybe cut a little bit of him being like, oh, he's like a mile after everyone else. But anyway. But yeah, it was a good episode overall. That will be my only complaint. It's like, why is Zeke so incredible? And on last notion, I would say that the glasses, though, I like that. He's not actually bad eyesight, right? You know, Zeke takes up, of course, Tom's glasses, but he actually doesn't need glasses, right? Just because it's part of that Tom used to have the glasses, right? Take his baseball, right? He inherits the baseball and inherits the glasses, and I guess Zeke actually doesn't need glasses, right? He just has them because these Tom glasses, the kind of double glass thing he has, right? But obviously, of course, that is real dad, right? And again, if Grisha just had played baseball with him, he wouldn't be like, I need a real dad. But anyway, yeah, that's it, you guys. I think it was a really good episode. I like all the new ones, right? And oh, well, one thing, okay. Best scene, of course, when he's burning Grisha. And he's like, you killed your sister! Like that was the best scene. That was the best scene. Oh, I forgot about that. I have to say it again. That was the best scene when he burned. When he gets angry at his father there. Because, of course, they're bad parents. And he's like, you killed my aunt. That scene was beautiful. And Grisha lost it. What was that scene? That was like a nice touch to it. It's like, you killed my Bashan. Here's it, yeah. And he's like, screw you, Dad. You killed your sister. That was the best scene, yeah. That's something interesting because, of course, Eren and so on never knew about had an aunt, right? But Zeke is well aware that you killed Aunt Faye. It's like, you killed Faye. It's like, yeah, this was nice. He finally like couldn't take his father's bullshit anymore. It's like, you killed your sister. That was a perfect burn there to really piss off Grisha here. But guys, go to Twitch now and of course for an episode of Mushoku Tensei. That is to 11 there, and again, Tensei, an amazing anime, ridiculously good anime, isekai, one of the best isekais ever, incredibly good new isekai, and has the final episode today, but there's a part 2 coming in like 6 months from now, whatever, 3 months from now. There's a part 2 I think coming later this year, so it's like a final episode, like a final season 1 part 1 or whatever, right? So that's exciting to see. So see you guys soon on Twitch then with Musical Tensh's final part 1.